Well, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair, on the show this evening is Albert and Big Stevie. How are we doing, gentlemen?
How you doing, mate? How you doing, Stevie?
Brand new. How's your sailbox?
Good, mate. Good
stuff.
Good, mate.
Aye.
Good, mate. How about you, Albert? You've had a wee sabbatical, shall we say?
Aye, I'm at the repair shop, mate. New tyres, filter, oil change. I'm ready to rock and roll, mate.
Oh, I like the sound of that. An oil change. Can it be an oil change? Yeah.
It's smashing, I'll tell you. Painful to get, but good when it's done.
It depends how you get it done, mate.
Well, that's true. Especially to take the rank cap off. You're like, whoa, where are you going with that, mate?
Good to hear you. How are you, Stevie?
I'm brand new. Just every day, just try to get the transfer market thing on and see what's happening in the world of football, you know. Aye, happy day.
That's a good point you make. You know, if you go back maybe 4 or 5 years ago, we weren't really worried about anybody moving. We were unlikely to bring anybody in, but now we're looking with a wee bit of nerves and a wee bit of excitement, Albert.
I mean, 5 years ago, we're hoping that some people were leaving, but it never actually happened. You know what I mean? But you're right. A wee bit of trepidation, a wee bit of excitement about who could come in, but at the end of the day, the model is the model. The model is selling players, and that's the bottom line, whether it be January, whether it be summer. So I never had a say on the Patterson thing, which is a great deal for the club, and that's the sort of model we've got, and we can't agree about it. We need to protect the club at all times. The football is the football. We want to have a winning team, of course we do, but we need to protect the club first and foremost. The deals are the deals. And if they come along at this time, they come along at this time. Don't want it to happen. Want to keep all the players, but I won't be surprised if one or two go this window. I wouldn't be surprised at all, mate.
Right. So you're saying the Patterson deal was a good deal?
It's a good deal for the club, good deal for the boy. You know what I mean? Well done to the boy. Hope he's a huge success in there, really do. And you can't blame the directors, you can't blame the management team. You've got to take the deal when it's there in front of you, you know what I mean? And that's a fantastic deal. It really helps the club out, you know what I mean? There's no doubt about that. There's no new the moon howlers and the Rangers haters shouting about administration and all this garbage that they're going about, you know what I mean? So, it future-proofs the club as well. It gives you a platform to negotiate other deals now. It sends out a clear message to the rest of world football. We're not here to be. They're not coming in and getting cheap deals anymore. They're not coming in and just taking who you want. So if you want our players, you pay for it, and you pay plenty.
Stevie, your thoughts?
I can't disagree with that. It's a great deal for the club, a great deal for a boy, and let's be honest, Everton have bought a boy with great potential. It could be. I'm just glad we've got that clause on his contract. If somebody comes in, Everton buys big, then we're happy days, mate. We'll get something else off it.
What do they call that? A Santa Claus?
A Santa Claus, aye. Aye, definitely. But I can't disagree with anything Albert said there. Definitely, Ox. It's a really good deal, good piece of business, and let's be honest, is it really hurting our first team? I don't think it is.
No, that's the strange thing about it. I mean, everybody liked John Patterson, Albert. I think that's even the people are happy with the deal. We're just saying that if you hold on to him, you don't know if his stock's going to rise, so you sort of cash out, if you know what I mean. Yeah,
we've no choice as a club right at this time. It's different if we were 5 years down the line, stable, got plenty of cash in the bank. It's a different scenario then altogether. But we're not at that stage yet. So we've got to protect the club. I mean, what we've been through, what we've all been through. We know what happens if you make a mess of these things. No, I mean, if you don't negotiate properly and look at your business model and stick to your plan, you could end up in trouble again. So, no, it's a good deal for the boy, you know. So, I don't think anybody's going to lose it. I don't even think Everton are going to lose it, because I don't think he'll get in the first team right away anyway. I'll be surprised if you see him any time this season on a starting basis. He might be on as a sub, but the boy will settle and the boy will develop. There's no doubt. The boy's got the talent. It's blind man can see the boy's got the talent. There's no doubt about it. The boy's a player. We'll see what happens.
Aye. So he goes with our best wishes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
He goes with our best wishes, and he's brought millions into the football club. Thanks a lot. Then we bring in James Sands. Let's be honest, Stevie, we don't know that much about him. Yeah?
Definitely no. I didn't know anything about him at all, but obviously with him signing up, you've been watching a few different bits and bobs, podcasts, interviews, and trying to find out as much as we can about the boy, and he seems a nice enough boy, the wee bits that I've seen, and he seems to read the game well. He can play in a couple of different places. So I think it's an 18-month loan on him we've got with an option to buy.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not a bad wee deal at all.
It's only a rumour and it's online. I just heard one figure quoted, and the figure to buy was 4 million, but I don't know that to be correct, all better. It was only a rumour, yeah.
Yeah, it's the boy. I mean, know nothing about the boy. Let's be honest about it. And I'm not going to sit here and make things up about the boy. I don't know anything about the boy. But one thing you do know about the boy is he's an American international, and you don't get into the American team these days if you're a dud. So you've got that to comfort yourself, knowing that, well, at least he's made the international team. So he's got to have something about him. We'll soon see what he's got about him. Don't get me wrong. When Broncos brings him into the team right away, you know he's a player. And if he edges him in, you've got a player. But if it's one of the ones that he goes in to the reserves and next thing you hear he's out with the B team and all this nonsense, you go, well, hold on a minute. He shouldn't be that forward in the pecking line, you know what I mean? Time will tell, mate. Time will tell.
Aye, time will tell. Well, I think it'd be a good time if we heard from James Sands. What do you think, Stevie?
That would be brand new, yes. That would be great.
Our latest signing, James Sands.
James, a warm welcome to Rangers Football Club. What does it mean to you to be a Rangers player?
Yeah, it's a massive moment for me. Coming to a club with such a good tradition and winning history like Rangers is a big step for me, and I'm really looking forward to getting in with a top group of players and coaches. So I'm super excited.
And why did you feel Rangers was the right club for you to move to Europe for the first time?
I think because of kind of the ambitions that Rangers have, both domestically in Scotland and in Europe as well. I think it made sense to go to a club that had those ambitions and was willing to work on developing me as a player and a person. So I think that was a big reason, and also playing in front of a fan base like Rangers is an important step, and it's big for me to learn how to play in those environments.
And you've just come off a winning season in the MLS. Why do you think now is the right time for you to join Rangers?
Yeah, I think now is a good time because I've achieved a lot of what I wanted to in MLS, and I think winning a trophy at the end of the year was kind of the perfect sort of sending off from New York. And now I'm looking for new challenges, and I'm sure it will be a challenge, but I've got a lot of good people around me, so I'm really pumped for it, and hopefully I can be winning some more trophies soon.
And tell us a bit about you as a player, and what do you feel you can add to this squad?
Yeah, I think a lot of my kind of key attributes are the way I read the game, kind of how I control the tempo, making smart passes, tough in the tackle, those sorts of things. I'm not going to do anything too flashy, but as a holding midfielder, you need someone who's effective and is going to get the job done. And I think that's something I can definitely add to the group.
You mentioned about being a holding midfield player, but you played centre back, you played right back. How important do you think versatility is to the type of game Gio wants to play here?
Yeah, I think it's massive, and with as talented a squad as Rangers have, being able to play both midfield and centre back, will help me get on the field. So I think that's a big plus for me, and I think Gio is really looking for players who are comfortable on the ball. So I think I can add that and bring that to the team for sure.
And of course, the challenges that Rangers face in Scotland are perhaps somewhat different to the challenges that New York City faced in the MLS. How do you think you're equipped to face down those challenges that Rangers face, not only domestically, but as you say, also in Europe?
Yeah, I think, one of the biggest differences, coming from MLS is, MLS is a league where, all the teams are about the same level. And I think Rangers have a expectation both internally and from the fan base to win games. And I think kind of learning how to cope with that expectation is, good for a young player like myself. And, I'm just looking forward to getting after it and, winning some trophies.
And of course, you're not the first American to play for Rangers. Carlos Bocanegra, Morris Edu, and of course you've played with Claudio Reyna's son. How proud are you to follow in their footsteps at Rangers?
Yeah, I think Rangers have a great tradition so far of American players, and definitely Americans who have done well and made an impact. And when I knew that Rangers were interested, I gave Claudio a call, and he just gave me great advice about kind of what it was like and how great his experience was. So I think that was definitely a motivating factor for me. And if I can make anywhere near the impact he made, I think it'll be successful for me at the club.
And of course, as a homegrown New York City player, how important is it that you now, having had moved to Europe, how important is it that you inspire the next generation of soccer players, as you'll call them in America?
Yeah, I think it's massive. Over the last 2-3 years, we've seen a kind of a big wave of American players making the jump to Europe. But I think I'm probably one of the first to go to Scotland, which is, I think, cool and kind of unique. But I think for young American kids growing up, just seeing players make an impact at the biggest levels in Europe is a massive inspiration. And I think there'll be more American players to follow.
And in terms of your international experience, and you've picked up 7 caps now for America, how important do you think that experience will be for coming to Rangers?
I think it'll be a really beneficial thing for me, especially in this last year playing World Cup qualifiers for the U.S., where you're traveling to some tough countries and some tough environments. Learning how to handle that, I think, will be important when I face some of the tough opposition in Scottish football, and just learning how to deal with crowds, environments, all those sorts of things have helped. And I think the last thing to add is just I played some big games for the U.S. and I know Rangers play a lot of big games, so I think it's helpful. And
that's a really good point, because you require versatility and resilience to play for America, as you say, in some almost quite strange environments. But you'll come across similar experiences in Scotland and in Europe. But you think you're ready for that and built for the occasion? Yeah, I think one of my strengths has always been kind of going with the flow and just enjoying the moment, taking it in. And, I think that's something that'll definitely help me here. And I think, Rangers, as I said, play a lot of big games. And, as a player, those are the games you look for. And I think I'm, slowly gaining some experience in those games. And especially the experience you gained at the Gold Cup last summer. Talk us through that and the experience that comes with playing in a tournament like that. Yeah, it's a pretty big tournament that the U.S. plays in, and kind of similar to how Rangers are in Scottish football. The U.S. is expected to, win or at least be in the final for that tournament. And I think, a big thing for me during that time was just, learning how to play different styles of games. You see, like the game against Mexico is going to be different than a game against Jamaica. So you have all these kind of contrasting styles, and learning how to adapt and move on the fly is important. Mm-hmm. And of course, you're ambitious to add to your number of caps for America. How important do you think coming to Rangers has been or will be in playing a role in gaining caps as you get older? I think it'll be really important for sure. I think, I said there's a lot of Americans making the jump, but still, there's not enough at the national team who are playing at a high level in Europe. And, I think getting kind of the exposure that Rangers offers will be helpful for future call-ups. And, I'm looking forward to that. And, hopefully I can get called up for the World Cup. You had the chance to look around Ibrox today for the first time. What were your initial impressions of the stadium?
it was really amazing. It's something you don't really experience or see in the U.S. much, and kind of walking through it and seeing the stands, the trophy room, you get a sense of how historic the club is, and how much the winning culture has kind of impacted it. So that was super impressive, and I can only imagine what it sounds like when it's full in there. So I'm pretty excited to get going.
And you were telling me that you've seen some videos of Rangers games online and YouTube and the stadium being full. How much are you looking forward to getting in amongst that and enjoying that experience?
I honestly can't wait. The passion that the fans have is second to none, and that'll be a new experience for me, but definitely something I'm excited about. And they have definitely high expectations for the team, but so far the team is doing pretty well to match those expectations.
And finally, James, what will your immediate aims be as you begin your career as a Rangers player today?
I think it's just to kind of make an impact as soon as I can. I'm kind of coming off the off season in MLS. I've had a couple of weeks to kind of get back into shape, get back in the swing of things. So I know it's the middle of the season here, so just making an impact any way I can, helping the team out, and making sure we finish the season with a trophy.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Albert.
Nice, sounds a nice boy, doesn't he? Yeah, sounds mature as well. Yeah?
I'll take your word for it.
But he sounds mature. He sounds as if he knows what he's talking about. No, I mean, he's looking forward to it. That's all you can ask for, basically. It's can't wait to see him play, to see what we've got here. But I'm reasonably happy with the guy so far. No, I mean, he's saying all the right things anyway.
Mm-hmm. Stevie, maybe a chance we maybe see him against Stirling Albion. What do you think?
Aye, you probably will, mate. And the boy just can't wait to get going, can he? He's mentioned a couple of things there. He's comfortable on the ball, and he's capped for America, and he can play in a couple of different places. Maybe the way he was talking there, 3 different places: centre back, holding midfield, and right back. So listen, look, we've said it before, and we'll say it again. No matter who comes in, it's a gamble. But as Albert said, you don't play for the United States. You don't get 7 caps for them if you're no half decent. So listen, it's just all about the boy settling in, and let's see what he can bring us.
Okay, I just need to change the subject quickly, and read this out, yeah? Okay, no laughing at the back, all right, Albert?
Go for it.
All right. Just told my wee daughter that Rangers Radio was on, Lacey. She's Big Stevie. It's Big Stevie's on tonight. She said yes. Her face lit up and says, "Move over, Dad. I want to listen to all the people, especially Stevie. He is so good." So Big Stevie is a new wee pal here in London. Shout out to Big Stevie for Lacey. Here, Lacey. You'll learn. But a big shout out for everybody here at Rangers Radio to Stevie's #1 fan, Lacey. There you go, Stevie boy. Are you blushing?
I'm by the way, I've lit up the room here with my face. I'm absolutely gleaming. But that's fantastic. A big shout out to my wee pal, Lacey. Absolutely brilliant. I wish I could do something for her, get her a wee talk with McPherson on the back, Brilliant, man. I just don't know what to say. I'm starstruck.
There you go. Yeah. I'm sure she'll grow at it. But there you go. Brilliant. Oh. There you go. There's a picture of Lacey as well. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely superb. There you go. Better. Me and you get Fran and Anna, and he gets Lacey.
I don't get anybody like me, let alone a fan. There you go.
Superb.
Anyway, that's me, Stevie. I'm jealous now. You've got a fan.
I'm under a young team.
Down with the kids.
Hey, I was over at that pedo down the day for 2.5 hours, trying to get next season fixture list out. It was terrible. Murder trying to get it out of them.
They've not got their problems to seek, but enough about them. Separate entity, as I told you a while ago, just follow the money and it'll come home to roost. And it's happening slowly, but surely it's unravelling. Right, okay. James Sands. Is there any coincidence, Stevie, they can play it right back?
I thought that might come up, you know. I don't really know. No, I don't think it is. I just think it's maybe Gio threw a contact to her there. Apparently somebody knows somebody, you know, and it's that he's been mentioned before. And I don't know, mate. I just think he fancies my player. I don't think it's getting to Davy back up for Nathan Patterson going away. I really don't. But they've got a good young prospect there, themselves coming in. United States International, and just let's see what it brings.
Any coincidence, Albert? Am I putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 5?
Well, I hope it is. I mean, I hope it's a bit of planning there on the background, because it already bodes well for us if it was like that, because I'm hoping they knew that bids were going to come in for Patterson and they've made proactive inquiries about this boy, so he's been on the radar for a while. We just brought it forward, you know what I mean? Because Patterson getting away. I hope it's like that. Whether it is like that, well, I don't know. I can't say one way or the other. I'm going to stay positive and say, aye, it's a nice bit of planning by the football department.
Yes, mate.
I did read somewhere right enough that he was asked to play his last few games. He played right back. He was asked to play with somebody. And apparently he did play, but whether that's rumourville or the truth or what, I don't know. But you could be right, but I'm just going to stick to it because I don't know for sure. So I'm just going to say they've just signed a young prospect. No, I don't think it's getting to David Patterson going away. I'll just say that.
Okay, all right. Have we improved our squad in the last week? Is that possible? Losing a £12 million player?
I don't think we've weakened our squad, put it that way. I think we've improved the club. I think there's too many positives outweigh the negatives. All right, he's a young prospect. We'd have loved to have seen him in the first team. Getting 16 million for Tav and bringing Patterson into the team, keeping him 2-3 years, selling him for 25-30 million was a better deal. But hey, all the stars have got to line up for that to happen. It just doesn't blink an eye and happen because you want it to happen. So the deal at the moment was the £16 million deal, and it's a fantastic deal. And back to your question about weakening the squad or strengthening the squad, I don't think it's damaged the squad in any way.
All right, okay. Being a young prospect, it brings a lot of pressure, as I well know, Stevie, you know.
Aye.
Do you think we've weakened the squad, strengthened the squad? An international guy with 6 international caps leaving and a guy with 7 American caps coming in?
Even if we didn't sign the boys, Sands, I don't think we've weakened our first team playing staff at all. You know, I mean, 15 starts Nathan Patterson had for the career at Ibrox. 15 starts out of 20-odd games. So I don't think, for a fringe player, I don't think we've beaten our team at all. And now that we've brought the boys' Sands in, you know, so look, people's got different opinions. I just thought the Patterson deal was absolutely a brilliant piece of business by Rangers. For me, it's no change for first team squad. Tav's still going to be there. Your captain's still going to be there. He would have been the one with the jersey, holding the jersey anyway. So I don't think we've beaten that at all. And then you brought the young boys Sands in. And then young Leon King signed an extension as well. Could he be a wee bit of a player where you could maybe play him here or there too?
Yeah, it's done. They've got high hopes for him, mate. He's meant to be good on the ball, you know.
Yeah.
Put it this way, much was the training centre, Auchenhowie. I think it was built for 13 million, so the Patterson deal's nearly paid for the training centre.
Aye. It's just, obviously, you want a Canberra talent, you know, and I get the point that people want them to stay and play for their club, but you've got to be prepared for people to leave. Maybe we're just not used to it, all better.
Aye, well, maybe a bit of that, aye. We get a player and he doesn't stay long, he's gone, you know what I mean? But as I said before, that is the model, and we just need to get used to it. We don't like it, but we need to get used to it, because that's the reality of life at the moment, where the big bad Premiership just hoovers in every bit of talent in the world, not just Scotland, the world. So I don't like the Premiership, as you know. I think it's a complete and utter waste of time and ruining football as a competitive sport throughout the world. It's killing every league in Europe, first of all, and then probably the world, because it's not right. It's just not right. Carrying the amount of players they're doing.
I said to a Man United supporter the other day, I said, you might never see your team win the league ever again. He went, I never thought of that.
Well, it's a possibility. It's a real possibility. I mean, that Newcastle, they're mega rich now, and you've got Man City mega rich. You've got Liverpool. At the moment, they've got a team. But they'll avenge. I think the next year and a half they'll be on the wane. But you've got Arsenal, who are starting to come back. You've got Chelsea, who's got a model that works. By the way, their model works perfect for them. They make money with the young boys that they don't play. They make fortunes through the boys. No, I mean that's a revenue stream.
Yeah, today, but they just announced losses of 150 million, didn't they?
That's nothing compared to Barcelona. And Man U. I mean, 100 million lost in there is just nothing. It's like losing a tenner. No, I mean, the night out for them.
No. Aye. No. Yes, mate.
Know how you were saying or comparing there Nathan Patterson. Can I put it to you another way, which Nathan Patterson gone for that kind of money he's done to our squad? Mm-hmm. If somebody was to come in for big, let's just say Big Shirley. Somebody was to come in for Big Shirley, who's holding his jersey now in the team, who's playing every week, who is also an international player with so many caps under his belt. If somebody was to come in for Big Shirley, after his selling Nathan Patterson for 12 million with a 4 million add-on, 16 million quid. If somebody was to come in would we be happy if somebody came in and took Big Shirley off us for 5 million? Something like that? I don't think we would. I think what Nathan Patterson's done for the squad that's still here is he's made it loud and clear to anybody coming in for any of our players, especially first team players, that if you're coming for somebody like him who's an international player, Europa League experience, that you're going to have to pay top dollar. Big Shirley, I mean, let's be honest, Big Shirley's been playing out his skin. The last so many games, you could have get the boy the man of the match. So the last 10 games he's played, you could have probably get the man of the match at least 5 of them. You know?
So
I think, Stevie, I think you'll get more for Big Shirley. You get £12 million for Patterson in spite of the 6 Scotland caps. But Big Shirley's not got any Scotland caps, you know what I mean? So that's not going to hold him back. So if Patterson never had the Scotland caps, he'd probably get 20-25 million for him.
That was very good, Golda. That was very good. Yeah.
Aye, brilliant.
You know, brilliant. But listen, I don't know if he's been capped yet, Kelvin. I know he was in the squad. I don't know if he's got any caps yet, but what you're saying is, what do you pay more for? A fringe player or a guy who's playing regular?
100%.
Aye,
I think we would all be spitting blood if somebody was to come in and take Big Shirley out of first team for, say, 5-6 million quid. After Patterson get away, a fringe player get away for 16 million. You know what I mean? Look at, was it Watford to come in for Borna? 2 million quid with $1.5 million add-ons, 3.5 million. And Rangers chased them. So it just tells you that, look after everything that's happened with Patterson, it's given us a bit. What you go up?
I'm not a fan of add-ons. They've been telling us for years we can't do it, you know what I mean? So... But aye, you're spot on, mate. That's the benchmark now. Yeah, that's the benchmark.
Aye. Let's hope it's the start of something good. That the Bears will not let their players go for just take a quick fix anymore. You know, we've done it for years, and now's the time to dig our heels on with players. And I think Albert says it's club first. You know, that's the bottom line.
No, we're going to make sure the club remains stable, aren't we? And really be honest about it, we do. Yep. We want a team, don't get me wrong. I don't say it's all cash in or the chips and all that nonsense. I'm not saying that at all, but we really need to look at when the deal comes and it suits us, we take the deal. Well, I mean, it's like if somebody come in for Morelos at £25 million, are you going to say no? You've got to really look at it. Hopefully there's a replacement out there that can come in and do a job and score the goals, but hard thing to say no for that, because you're going to get 25 million, 30 million for Morelos next year. Who knows? So you've really got to weigh it up, and you can't just automatically dismiss it and say we want to win the league. Of course we want to win the league, but Stevie said it, club comes first. The stability of the club comes first.
Albert, see next season, when we win the league this season and we get straight into the Champions League group stages, you think what Alfredo Morelos will be worth then when he's playing in the top level of football, the European, the big one, the Champions League with the money men and everything else? His valuation, the squad's valuation goes up again then.
Absolutely, mate. But can we take the gamble?
That's what I felt about with the Patterson thing, Albert. It didn't look as if he was going to go on much, as the season. It might have started against Stirling Albion or whatever, but that's not really him getting a place. Unless he got a bit of luck or whatever, he wasn't going to start many games. So then you get to the summer, and if he'd have hung about with then, and then the same, we started another season and there's no first choice, his actual value might have started waning.
Yep.
You know? So maybe only hindsight will tell us. But listen, the question I'm going to put to you is to fine, upstanding gentlemen. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
What business would you like our club to do in the transfer window with players coming in January? Or are you not a fan bringing players in January? Whatever you think. We'll start with the brains of the operation. Albert?
Centre back, attack midfielder.
Okay.
And that's before anybody else goes, if anybody else is going.
As we stand today, mate. As we stand today, yeah.
Centre back, attacking midfielder.
In the mould of what kind of attacking midfielder? In the mould of what? What kind of player?
Scotty Arfield. Go to replace Scotty.
A guy
go to get somebody quicker, faster, and breaks the lines. What Scotty Arfield does.
Okay. I'll watch it now. Stevie.
I'm not a fan of upsetting the apple cart too much, Ops, to be honest. I think the squad we've got to know, I know we've Patterson's away and we've brought the boy in, but I'm just watching the transfer market to know, hoping that nobody else goes. I'm just hoping we keep what we've got there, because I think what we've got there now is more than capable of going on and winning this league and getting us in, and then you can change it in the summer, bring a right few players in, you've got a wee bit of time and get the boys all bedded done. But no, if I was to, probably I would maybe agree with Albert, maybe attacking midfielder. He's a wee bit in case we get any injuries again and stuff like that. It means we can still shuffle the pack a bit and not be worried. But if Rangers do bring people in, I'll be pretty happy. But I just hope nobody goes out. I mean, I'm fearful that somebody's got to come in with stupid money for the likes of Ken or somebody like that, or Kamara, you know, one of the two boys, you know, and I know Alf's there as well, and Aribo, you know, but I'm hoping nobody comes in for any of the boys that I've just mentioned, because they're key to winning this league this year. You keep them in that team, they've got what it takes.
What we don't know, Albert, is what people have got in their clauses when they get permission to speak to people. We don't know that.
No, that's so we're stabbing in the dark, taking a stab at it. You really don't know. We've not enough information to make any educated comments on it. But we're just talking about for the heart what we would like to see, and basically we'd like to see our squad sticking together and keeping it and going on and winning this league. That's a brilliant scenario for us. That's what we want. But We're not in that world that we've got control of this situation. I don't even think the club is, in all honesty, has got total control of the situation, as I've said before. If these bids, these crazy bids come in, but there's got to be bids that you can't say no. It's not even if you get a bid, say for £10 million for Alfie, that's not even a swither. That's a no. That's just a no. That's not worth it. So you've got to get bids that you absolutely can't turn down, and they've got to be big bids now, because the Patterson deal has set the benchmark. So it's going to be above that now.
Aye, okay, mate. All right, that's the benchmark. Talking about the benchmark, we've been joined by Bob J. Evening, Bob J.
Evening. How are we all doing tonight?
Good, mate. Good.
Good evening.
Oh, by the way, I neglected to say last night, Happy New Year, everybody.
Oh, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I forgot about that last night. I'll tell you what, I was again hanging back to last night, folks. I'm sorry I missed out in the discussion about Wee Willie Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my time, you know. God, I can't find words to describe him. Like, he was awesome, an awesome player, Wee Henderson. He dislodged Alex Scott for the team, and then you know what he went on to achieve. He was an amazing wee player, like. So again, I'm sorry, I missed it in there.
Alex Scott had went on to be a league winner. Everton, you know.
Aye, and that's how good he was. Boy who won us.
My father's favourite player, believe it or not.
Alex Scott, aye. Scott McMillan Miller, Brandon Wilson, who was okay, and he was replaced with Wee Willie Henderson. That tells you how good Wee Henderson was.
Aye, fair shout, mate, fair shout. Have you had the conversation today about the boy Sands and that coming in, a utility player for the States, which
I had a wee look at him last night on YouTube. He's a big enough boy, and he seems to be able to play the ball along the deck all right. We'll see. We'll see what happens, And I had a bit of car trouble yesterday, and I had to try and nurse a car off for my stepsons in Falkirk, and lo and behold, didn't all get on to me on Radio Clyde. And, I was listening to them, and this American pundit had come on and spoke about the boy. Says he's a more than decent player. He's a very good player. He's very highly thought of over there in the USA. He'll come in, he'll do a good job for Rangers. So that's what we want.
Born in the USA.
Born in the USA, aye.
Yeah, aye, okay, we'll see, right, okay. Stevie, you're a man of intelligence, a man of integrity, a man of distinction, yeah?
Yeah.
Big spender.
Aye, right.
What's that population left to do?
Right, okay. The same with the youth in my squad, yeah? Ross McCrory, who's played for the first team, yeah? He's for a goalie, 23. Pretty young, yeah? Calvin Bassey, 22. Yeah? Starting to become, you could say, a regular. What's that? He's played the last 10 games. Yeah?
Easy.
You know? Well, I know he hadn't played much before that. Leon King, 17. Kyle McClelland, who's knocking on the door as well, 19. Stephen Kelly, who there's rumours about maybe getting a loan spell at Kilmarnock, which I think would be good for him. 21 years of age. And then James Sands, JS, has come in. He's 21. So we're starting to plug that gap, if you like, between the B team and the first team. Yeah, these guys, and it's up to them. The ball's in their court to kick on. Yeah.
Yep. They've just got to bed in, and they've got to listen to the experience and the people that's telling them what to do. Get loan, play your best, dig in, do what you're meant to do during COVID. Just keep your noses clean, bed in, and things will come their way if they just work hard. I mean, if anything, they've got to, the young boys I've mentioned there, they've got to look at Patterson. Patterson's went from life-changing money. There is a pathway. There is a pathway. So if the boys just do what they're meant to do, I mean, you're talking about young boys. I mean, you could add Morelos, what age is he, 23?
No, I think he's 25, 26 now.
Who's Ken? What age is Ken?
I'll cut across you, Stevie. We've been joined by Jimmy. Evening, Jimmy.
Evening, boys and the boys. How you doing?
Good, mate. Good to hear you.
I'd like to wish you all seasonal greetings and an Omicron-free year.
Yeah, hopefully this year Omicron-free. Last year, wasn't it, mate?
Aye. How are you, boys? All right?
Good, mate. What's on your mind?
Right.
This area was talking about this boy Sands, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We trust the management team. We trust Goldson and Van Bronckhorst. We must trust them, you know. A lot of speculation, and one thing I've learnt now, Rangers don't get anything out in public anymore. I listen to all these podcasts like this, Heart in Hand and all this nonsense, trying to tell you this and that. They don't know. They're keeping it very close to their chest. And I trust them. I trust them to bring in the players necessary. I think we should all have faith in them. Let them go on with their job. That's what they're paid for. Let's see what they come up with.
Oh, bear.
The club, they keep it close to their chest, but there's certain outlets that they get a wee glimmer. And Heart and Hand's one of them. They definitely get a wee snifter now and again. No, they don't get exclusive interviews or exclusive information, but I think they're using Heart and Hand to debunk a lot of crap, especially the tabloids. So they like to come out there and debunk all of them. So, but I agree with you, Rangers are playing it very good now. They're playing it very close to their chest, and that's the way it should be. Let all them run about banging into each other and howl at the moon all they want. Just do your business quietly and effectively, and that's what Rangers are doing now. So I agree with you, mate.
That thing, it's a good thing now, you know. Before they were leaking like a sieve, you know. Even the cats and dogs in the street now they were after, you know. But now it's very, 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 very quiet. They'll come out with it when they're signed, you know, sign the player, that's it, you know.
If there's ever a club, Stevie, that should be able to keep a secret, it's yours, isn't it?
Aye, definitely. Listen, I can only agree with what Jimmy says there. I mean, we said it, Ox, we said at the start of the show, let's be honest, until you hear the boy sing, none of us really knew anything about the boy. You can only go into the different wee sites as we're talking about there, maybe Heart in Hand and maybe YouTube, and go and see how the boy is and try and make my own minds up about what would be his best position and how's he going to, is he good in the air, is he comfortable on the ball? You know, we didn't really know anything about him, and I think this show here, we never hide the fact that we always say it up front what we know, you know, and I think Jimmy's right there what he says, but none of us really knew anything about him until you hear the name and then you start dipping your toe in the water trying to find out about him, you know. Can I just say also, Old Bear's probably right. Heart and Hand does one of the podcasts that probably might have got a wee snippet at these things as they get unveiled first, you know. So, I mean, they pay the serious money for press pass, so to speak. So, these guys are probably...
They're business. Heart and Hand's a business, yeah?
Aye, 100%. So they're probably... If you pay that kind of money, Ox, you're due to get a wee bit of stuff, aren't you? So
we're amateurs, not for profit, and we're a group of mates trying to put something together because we love the Rangers. There's a difference, mate. There's a difference.
Well, I was watching the welcome of boy go up for Van Bronckhorst and his assistant today. It was on that Rangers channel, and they were very, very happy. They were shaking his hand, clapping his back. You know, they seemed to be well happy with the signing. You know, so. I'm quite happy to see that, you know. They were very, very driven, very, very enthusiastic. And the boys seemed keen as well, actually, which is a good thing.
Jimmy, would you say, just like any signing, isn't it? It's just a gamble, isn't it? You've just got to wait.
Yeah, you can spend millions. I mean, look at Lumsden. We were told he was this and he was that. Up to the boys know fulfilled that potential, has he? He's not done even a quarter of what he was supposed to come and do, you know. He's been a disappointment, you know. There's a few of them need to offload right now. People Barker and that crowd there that are only sitting there taking their wages. You need to get rid of that lot, you know.
He's not going any better this summer, mate. He's not going anywhere.
No, I know. Maybe they want some, you know what I mean? Maybe they want.
No, because he's on too good of money, and that's the trouble, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe one of the Air League players will take him. Do that. They're all coming out here.
It'd be good to get Jimmy. It'd be good to get rid of that poker school because that's all he does, play poker. That brigade.
Is it? Oh, I wasn't aware of that. You know, I'm not a gambler myself. You know.
I'll miss Andy first when he goes.
Aye. Well, they definitely need to shift a few, you know. I don't see Balogun getting a new contract at the end of the season.
We don't know. Balogun, let's be honest, McGregor's in form just now. He's got a decision to make if he wants another year. Physically, Stephen Davis has not really played for a good few weeks now. Well, you've got another year's up for speculation. Barker will go.
I think Lee Davis might be a good add-on thing to the academy for like coaching. I think Stephen Davis would serve a good job in there, you know. He's well respected. The boys like him. He's got bags of knowledge. Rather than let him go out the door, keep him as a coach, you know. I think he wants to get down that road anyway, so let him cut his teeth there, you know. He's been a great servant to Rangers, so the way of saying him, well done. We appreciate all your good work, Stevie, you know.
I'm a fan of Stephen Davis. I'm a fan of Stephen Davis, the man, and Stephen Davis, the football player. Bob, Jeff?
Stephen Davis. You used to call him last year Sir Stephen Davis. He was so consistent. And he's, you know, I mean, you bring the wee man back into the side and he'll still do a job. You know, he'll still do a job. You're talking about people about players here with contracts, Hawks. Every club falls into that trap. Every big club falls into it. Because you've got a rake of players with no made degrade in their own long contracts and you're still paying them wages. We're no any different. But Jimmy's exactly right in what he says. That we do need to clear the decks a bit, as it were. And then he's right about keeping Steve Davis in a coaching capacity. You can do that with some, but he's only like an outstanding individual that's been, you know, you could keep Alan McGregor as a goalkeeping coach. I don't know. But as I say, every club has a surplus of players, right?
I would keep Alan McGregor for media training.
Well, aye.
Absolutely, mate.
That big American boy will be able to help Big McGregor. He'll get him one of the big gloves, big gloves Americans. And the baseball is nothing. He'll bring a big pair of them with him, you know.
Funny enough, he does that in the media, the big finger, doesn't he? Stevie, it's the hardest thing in football. I think getting rid of players who don't want to go in it. They can just sit.
Well, exactly.
Listen, we've all got our favourites, and there's guys we don't want to see gone. And see, at the end of the day, the battle never stops. But you've got to put your emotional stuff to the side, and we've got to know that the club's going to move on. You know, and it is hard, Docs, you know. I mean, I don't know who it was that brought Balogun up, but Balogun will be away in the summer, especially with the rumourville you're talking about signing John Suter and stuff like that. You can see where this is going, you know, reading between the lines if that is true. I know it's only rumourville now, but if Suter's contract's up at the end of the season, so if we were to offer Hearts daft money, like 350,000, 400 quid, they could probably take that because you know they're going to get nothing for him if we want him, and he's got to walk away in the summertime at the end of the season and come to Rangers for nothing. So there's a possibility we could get Suter, but you're talking about guys like Balogun. I must admit, Big Leon's come in and he's did us for what we got him for, and what he's done for us is he's done absolutely brilliant. I mean, one of the games that stuck out is he kept the wee Japanese boy. He had him in his back pocket. You know, the last game, you know, it has been for his Balogun as a kind of stop-start player, you know.
Oh, Ben, are you a shooter?
I don't know. I can't make my mind up with the guy. I've not really seen enough of him to make a judgment, mate. I know whatever he's saying, that he's a decent enough defender. Being a decent enough defender with Hearts, I don't know. I don't know enough about the boy, so I wouldn't like to make a judgment. Like Lundstrom, I've seen enough of him to know I don't like him. But Suter, I don't know. I just don't know.
I think Fox keeps mentioning to me we need to watch with our homegrown players. So there might be a logic in signing Suter. You know, for the squad for Europe, yeah. You know, but
that's another. I mean, that's another thing. What is if you sign Suter and you keep Goldson and Helander comes back, you get rid of Balogun. You bring Katic back. What is the back four or centre backs going to look like? You know what I mean? Who's the starting centre backs? I mean, Suter will come in, but one of his things he'll be saying is he wants a start. I'm not coming to be a backup to anybody. I want a start because he's got the option to go down south. Remember, know what I mean? Down to the Championship to earn mega bucks.
I don't think we should promise any player a start, mate. You've got to earn it.
But that's what they're going to ask for, isn't it? Well, that's just the game now, isn't it?
Yes,
Albert brought up Connor Goldson there. Me personally, just me personally, I just think his contract saga's gone on and on and on far too long, and I think he might be one of the guys gone in the sun.
Potentially, mate. Potentially, that's modern football for you, innit? He'll maybe leave us the same way we go to Lundstrom, yeah? Some you win, some you lose, yeah? You know?
I think he's one of
the one thing about that, Stevie, is that nobody's actually known what the stumbling block is in his contract negotiations. Usually you hear Benu that it's money or it's this or it's that. It's the next thing.
Is that the same reason you're not hearing about the signings? Everything's done professionally.
Correct, but you still it's usually the agent at release that lets it go. No, I mean that's outside the club. But you're not hearing anything at all. You're getting it. What is the stumbling block? I don't understand. Is it money? Is it length of contract? What is it? He wants a captaincy. What is it he wants?
I think he values the contract. I think he's asking too much money. That's my personal opinion. I think he values him higher than what he does. You know, I think he's got the rules as a grandeur guy. I don't think he would survive in the Premier League in England, to be quite honest with you.
I'm with you, Jimmy. I don't think so either.
I think he's got the rules as a grandeur. I think he's been wasted, you know. They're playing up here, and I think Gerrard has got to do with that and all. He never dropped him once, you know, when he could have been dropped when he was playing rubbish and playing shite. But I mean, he never dropped him. He kept him in the team. He gave him his due. He's maybe 80% good. But there has been occasions where he's not reached the heights we expect him to do. I think he's looking for more money, and I think Rangers are saying, no, we've got a wage structure here, and we're sticking to it. They don't want to live within it. You don't want to, you can go. That's my personal opinion. Maybe I don't know what's happening. I don't know. But
you might not be far away. But we'll see where it takes us. It's modern football, Bob Gerrard.
Absolutely. I mean, in the case of Connor Goldson, I mean, who did he come from? Brighton, eh?
Yeah.
Brighton, well, I mean, although they've done well this year, I'll give them their credit there, they've done well this year, but they're not one of the leading lights of English football. And he's bound to say to himself, well, I'm up here with a huge magnanimous club playing European football, and I'm playing every single game. And be fair to the boy, he has played every single game. He said to himself, well, what's new for me? And I think I agree with the guy, especially with Jimmy there, it would be the Championship for him. He wouldn't go back into the Premier League, no danger. So I think he's better just knuckling under, getting on with it, and enjoying life at Rangers. Because Rangers have been good to him. He's one of the better five players, I believe. Eh?
You mentioned Brighton there. He was understudy Shane Duffy there.
That's right, Jimmy. Aye, that's exactly right, pal.
Oh, he was in Westlife. I didn't know
that. I'm moving the ball.
Yes, mate, on you go.
When you're talking about Connor Goldson, can I ask you, do you don't think Rangers has brought Goldson on a bit since he left Brighton? Do you not think he's a better player now that he's played by Rangers, especially like he's been getting a lot of Europa League experience too? He was part of a British record last year with so many goals. He broke all sorts of records with Rangers. I just think we're being a bit... I get what you are saying, but I just think we're being a wee bit harsh on the guy. I really do. I honestly think that he could probably play in the Premier League, but he's not going to go to any of the top half of the teams, the top half of the Premier League. But he could possibly play in the bottom half of one of the teams, definitely. I think he's became a better player. I don't think he's made that mistake as much. He's always had a mistake in him, guys. And don't get me wrong, in the Europa League, you could probably put your bottom dollar on that he would get booked because he's up against a better attacking player, a better standard of player, you know. But I just think he's been a wee bit unfair saying he's a championship player, he's this, he's that. But look, See if he doesn't want to play for a club where I think he's proven this year he does want to be with Rangers. The stumbling block, apparently, what I've read between the lines is it's the longevity of the contract. It's nothing to do with the money, but that's only rumourville. How do you know? I'm just reading different things. But Connor Goldson, I think there's a lot of clubs out there would have Connor Goldson, to be perfectly honest, guys.
I see a difference in him since he joined the club. He's definitely a better organiser, Stevie. Yeah?
He organises your team in back line, and there's no two ways about it, Ox. Mm-hmm. He's the guy doing all the right, move in, move out. You can see it in the park. I mean, you can hear it sometimes. I mean, I go to all the away games Southside and you know that, and you can actually hear him rallying the boys at the back. You can hear him shouting at them. Get in, get out, go here, go there. You know what I mean? He's definitely he's a vice captain of Glasgow Rangers. You're not a vice captain if you're a bad player. Come on. But I can see what some of the guys are saying there, Albert and I think it's Jimmy. I can see, but I get why they're saying it, but I think we can be a wee bit harsh on the boy. Although he's no signed a contract, he's been playing brand new for us at the back. Since Giovanni's come in, we've kept the zero. He's proved he wants to be in the Rangers team. And I really do hope that he gets whatever it is, and we keep him, because let's be honest, you're going to get the same. To get somebody in and do the job Connor Goldson's doing the new, you're going to talk about a right few quid.
Aye, good comment, mate. Mrs. Albert's told me I have to keep you away from the Connor Goldson subject. Is that correct?
I will back to that. Can I come in there, Ox?
Yes, mate, on you go.
I think that's a good comment. Really good comment about Connor Goldson. That he's done well. I'm not saying he's not done well for him, done fantastic for us. But I think there's still some instinct in Connor Goldson's mind that he isn't the actual captain. I think that's always been there when he's come up. That I think he deserves to be the overall captain. Does any think what's your take on that, anyways? I'm not criticising his performance.
I think you're right, Bob Gerard. Does the captain get his portrait painted on the wall, a fresco on the wall at the managers? Because I think if he does, that's what we want. We want his photo, his picture on the wall. We want his painting on the wall. It might be that. It might be that, because I think the guy has got a bit of an ego. There's no doubt about that. But Rangers have made him a better player. Of course, they've made him a better player. They've showed him how to play for a big club for a start. That's the first thing they've done with him. And they've showed faith in him. We have his health problems, and showed faith in him and played him in every game. And he's made himself available, and 10 out of 10 him for that. He's made himself available for every game. But do I think, honestly, he can play in the Premiership? He probably could in certain teams, as Ox said there. But do I think he'd be a star? I think he'd be one of the better defenders in the Premiership. No. I think he'd be bang average in the Premiership. I think he stars up here in Rangers because it's Rangers and because the style we play, where we play, the European football and all the rest of it. But I don't think I'm being harsh on him. I just think I'm being realistic with the guy. I've been realistic since the day I met him. Or the day I watched him, the first day I watched him. I see his faults. Some of them he's improved, but he's not strong enough. We Boyle and people like that, and that Trumpy Brody, they used to brag doll him all the time.
He lost 13 goals in the league last year.
Oh, I know, mate. But it wasn't him that saved that. It was Alan McGregor. That's how he got man of the match. He got the Player of the Year. Everybody's forgetting who got the Player of the Year. It was a goalkeeper. That means they're getting by your defenders to have a shot or a hero.
13 all season. I'm in Stevie's camp. He's a very harsh. Very harsh. Anyway.
Let's question the panel then.
I know where you live, and you've often all got clocks in your houses, but we've reached that time of the evening and we're going to have a tune.
Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just much We support the Glasgow Rangers, do not Ibrox is the place. And we will follow in the championship race. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. It's true, the magic boys in blue are the best team in the land. You've got to queue and govern to get a ticket for the stand. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. We've spent a lot of money on great players, yes, that's true. But the Rangers fans deserve the best from the boys in royal blue. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. The story, it was dismal, full of gloom. Now we're building an extension for the Ibrox trophy room. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. In Europe we'll be travelling by land and sea and plain. The teddy bears have got the bears and we're on the march again. The boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The greatest team of all, yes, it's true.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
You like that one in your house, Big Stevie, didn't you?
Hey, that's at my house rocking many a night.
Yeah.
So, you've seen the video, Ox? You've seen the
I've seen the video. Have you went for a snack during the tune there, Stevie, and been caught out?
Yes, I was.
Yes, a bit of a schoolboy in it, that, innit? A bit of a schoolboy in it. They spare ribs and murder when you're on the show. They spare ribs and murder.
Don't tell me, Lacey, but I've just had a McDonald's.
And you're being caught. He's been caught. Oh, totally unprofessional. Totally unprofessional.
Oh, it's no good. It's no good, mate. You should have somebody have that snack ready for you, mate.
Oh my God!
You should have said that Fox would have played a longer tune for you.
And it'll be.
All right. I will see what happens with Goldson. I'm a great believer if players want to stay, they'll stay, and if they don't, they want to move on, they'll move on, and you shake hands, you go on with it.
If it's money, he's off, and if it's money, he's off, and it's as simple as that. If he's looking for money, he's off, because you'll get more money down south, no doubt about it. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be something different. If it's no money, it's going to be something, I don't know what it is, but if it's just money, he's letting his contract run down, he's off. And if he goes, he stays, he stays. But I'm with you. I'm definitely with you. I don't hold a player that doesn't want to be there. Don't try to appease him. Do you want to go? Go. Phone and
at any level, Albert.
Of course. But he's playing well now. I'll give him his due. He's playing well now. Don't know what he's trying to impress Van Bronckhorst, or he's trying to impress a new club, what he's trying to do, but whatever it is, keep doing it, because he is playing well. I'll give him that.
He's also gambling, because if he was to get hurt and a new club doesn't sign him, he's unemployed in 6 months, isn't he?
I mean, Rangers are quite in the right to say we're not going to give you an extension when you're injured. I mean, what does he do then? I mean, we'll be called all the baddies and all that carry on. But what do you do? What do you do?
Stevie, I think, but to be fair, we've remembered our money's worth out of Goldson, the amount of games he's played for, is it?
Listen, the big man's there. He does the hide. I get some of the criticism about the guy, but I think it can go a wee bit OTP. I'll tell you what sums up the Connor Goldson argument, and you can ask any of the boys that's on the now. If a team says to Rangers now, we're interested in Connor Goldson, how much is it? What he's meant for him? I'm asking you guys, how much would you sell Connor Goldson for? This day and age, he's played every single game for day dot. He's got Europa League experience. He's a far better player. He's the Rangers vice captain. How much would you sell Connor Goldson for? This will sum up the argument.
85 million.
Harry Maguire.
What? Yep, exactly. But that donkey went for 80, so I want 85. He's better than him.
You've mentioned donkeys, and we've been joined by somebody who's not a donkey. We've been joined by Andy for Crookston. See, Andy, you know that.
Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you, Ted. Oh.
Happy New Year. How we doing, mate? All right?
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
What's on your mind, mate?
No, just listening about the Connor Goldson carry on and stuff, and just wanted to make a point up. Yeah, he's been a great servant for us in my eyes, and if he's going to be here, then I think it is money that he's holding back for. But if it's like 30, 40 grand, then I would let him go, and I would bring in the boys suitor if we get the chance. What do you think of that?
As we sit, somebody's got some noise on in the background. I don't know who it is. If you're on the phone, could you either go and mute?
It's certainly not me, mate.
Whatever. No, I'm not saying it's you. I said somebody on the phone.
No, I know, mate. I know.
Yeah. All right. Can you turn your either telly or the show off?
I can hear an echo as well, mate.
I don't think that, as we sit today, I don't think the boy Suter is at the same level as Connor Goldson. I think there's a lot of sense for us bringing in Suter as a squad player. I don't know if he's a first team starter every week, but I've been wrong before. Not often. Bob, J.
I would agree with that, gentlemen. I don't think Suter would fill Goldson's shoes. Yeah, let's be fair here, guys. Goldson's been very consistent for us. He did have a lapse, and the boy's got a young family and he's only looking to better himself. Football's not a long life, but if he thinks, you say, he's going to get in there and get a better environment than Glasgow Rangers, then I'm sorry. I hope they can perhaps a deal with the boy for an extent to his contracts. I really didn't care all the ins and outs in any other day. He's just another footballer that wants to better himself. What age is Connor Goldson? There you go. Everybody's said that tonight.
He's 29. I think he's 29, but I'll check it out exactly for you, mate.
Right, well, there you go. He's practically coming to the end here, and he's looking for the one big move. And a lot of them do. He's not any different.
Albert?
What one? You want me the Suter one?
Both.
I don't know about Suter. I really don't. As I said earlier on, I don't know. I've not seen enough of the boy to pass comment on him. I mean, I've only seen him against the Rangers, and he's all right. He looks okay to me. I don't think he's a standout, put it that way. And I agree with Bob. I don't think he's as good as Goldson at the moment. But Goldson himself, see, the one thing I've got against Goldson at the moment with this carry on is our club as it sits at the moment can't afford to let assets who are worth money walk out the door for nothing. So I don't see this argument of Connor Goldson owes us nothing. Connor Goldson does owe us. He owes us the transfer fee that we would have got if he'd have said 6 months ago, 18 months ago, that, look, I'm looking for this when my contract's getting near the end, and if I don't get it, I'm going. So we could have went, right, fine, we're going to sell you then with a year of your contract still to run. Why let it get into the last year, and then start this negotiation and start playing hardball? You're saying, no, No, you owe us. Your club can't afford to let an asset go that's worth money.
Because he can. We done it with.
I know, but the reason I'm saying this is to shoot down this one. He doesn't owe us anything. He does owe us stuff. He does owe us plenty. We've saved his career. Let's be honest. We've gave him a platform to shine. That he's a household name now in football terms. So he does owe us, and I don't think we should be walking away without us getting a transfer fee, and that's what's going to happen. And I think that's ridiculous.
What kind of fee are you talking?
Well, about a year ago, Stevie, I'd have accepted £8 million from him a year ago. No, you're not going to get anything. I mean, basically, we're letting an £8 million asset walk out the door for nothing.
And that's what happened again. I'll go back to it. We took Lundstrom. You run with the swings around.
Aye, well, that's that. But as far as I can see, Lundstrom's a minus as far as I'm concerned. No, I mean, I don't see anything, and I don't even know that boy's position. No, I mean, if somebody could tell me what his position is, I don't know what he plays. I don't know where he plays in the park. Is it the goals or is it what? I don't know. But I see your point. Ox. If you're going to take players off of other clubs, but again, the player when they're with you is under your control. You've got the control, so you should. It might be Wilson's fault. It might not be Goldson's fault. It might be Wilson's fault for not going into and finding out what he's going to be doing close at the time when his contract was coming to an end. But I think Goldson should have been honest with up front, saying, "Look, I'm looking for this when I'm getting close to the end of my contract. Give you the option. You can sell me the new, or you can give me what I'm looking for."
I don't know, mate. I just think modern football players, not just Connor Goldson, they'll hedge their bets. You know, more times, and he's got now that he can sign for somebody, or he signs for us. He might be a stronger negotiator. But it's getting
to the stage, Ox, that you can't let a player go by 18 months now. You can't let them go by 18 months.
If they don't sign that new deal, mate, there's nothing you can do.
Well.
Nothing you can do.
Well, that's part of the contract when you're signing them at the beginning. You must put something in the contract then and there. It's no good to have signing the contract and then start arguing with them when they're not going to sign a new one. You must say to them, "Look, we're looking to get value out of you on and off the park." That means when you're on the park playing well and doing well for the club, but when we sell you, we're looking to get money for you. I mean, to me, it makes sense. It's a business we're running here, and it's a bit. And I know what Bob's saying, and he's right. It's a short career, and these guys have got. I'm not bothering about a player wanting more money, and I'm not bothering about a player looking to do well for his family. That's all fair to me. That's fine. All I'm looking for is for my club to give you the platform, to give you a good standard of living, to give you the facilities, to make you a household name, to make you a better player. I'm looking for something in return for that. And it's not just on the park. It's when you're clear or when your contract. You don't want to sign a new contract, you want to move on. I want money for it. I don't care what anybody says. I want money for that.
I think then you'll struggle to get players to sign, mate.
Well, that's the case. But at the end of the day, you've got to take care of the club. You can't just let these players dictate everything. They've got to keep themselves right, but you can't let them dictate everything. You must have a sense of management here.
You should have took a contract to it in Bosman then. Because as soon as that happened, that's when the players had all the power. Stevie?
Look, I think the Connor Goldson, I mean, it's dragging its heels. They're dragging its heels to get it sorted as it is, but never mind the fans try to work it out. But what you see is what you get, I think, with the big. And he's no sign nothing, and he's in our team every week. And as Ox says, this boy's running the gauntlet. He must love Rangers that much because he's running the gauntlet. He could break his leg, and his contract's running out in the summer, and he'll not be able to go. Nobody will want him, and he's out of contract. So it just tells me it's the same story. He's wanted to be with Rangers. He's wanted to play with Rangers. I just think the big guy, I just think some of the criticism of the big man's up at OTT because he does marshal that back line. I've heard him, and I also just think he's the best centre half. He's the best defender and the centre half in Scottish football now. Name a better one than him now. you know, and I just think we can be a wee bit too quick taking a slag the boy. You know, I wouldn't like to see your team sometimes when he's not there. You know, so to me,
put it this way,
I
Steve.
hope
Put it this way: would you give him what he wants, regardless of how much?
If you've got a structure, Albert, you've got a structure, and that's agreed by the club, and he wants to break that structure, no, he's not that good. No,
it's as simple as that. I think it's down to money.
Ox.
Yes, mate.
Can I come in, Ox?
Yes, Jimmy, of course you can.
I would like to play a wee span on the works here.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should swap him for big Porteous for Hibs.
What's the
Jimmy, whatever you're thinking, get half it. Come on, behave.
I'm too gassed up for the 70s, Jimmy.
I don't know, the big man with new wonders. I'm just going to throw that in there. What do you think?
I'm not a fan.
Jimmy, can I say this to you, Jimmy? Jimmy, Porteous could be a better player if he had better people managing him. You could make that boy a better, but 100%. But he needs. He's rough around the edge. Big Porteous is just a big raw player, and he just needs better management. He needs more guidance. Would he be a better player in a better team? I think he would. But he definitely needs a bit of guidance because he is a bit raw. The boy does. He probably would get a better move somewhere if he just kept the heat a wee bit, stoked into the crowd, and daft things like that. The boy does. I mean, the way he dives in, it's just inexperienced, just a big raw junior. It's like a big raw junior player, And the boy could be potentially, if somebody took him under their wing and guided him, somebody like Goldson who marshals and keeps people right on the park. I just think that Hibs having to go to that, and that boy's marshalling their back line, and he's just a big raw player. But I can see why Jimmy maybe said that there, but he's nowhere near Connor Goldson. Absolutely nowhere near Connor Goldson, no.
Andy, you raised the subject about Suter. Do you think if we do take Suter, and obviously it's rumoured at the moment, and you never know, do you see him being a starter for us?
To begin with, no, right away, no. I don't think he'd be a starter right away. Don't think he'd walk right straight into the squad unless he was showing something on the training park that was making Gio happy and the training squad, and maybe get a chance at central defence, and he played a good game, and played another good game, and it's just down to how he hits the ground running. You know what I mean? It could be come and be a flop, but it could come and be, could be a great player for us. But I think there's a great player in there. I really do. I really think there's a good player in that boy.
It's not the worst I've ever seen, but.
I'm sorry for interrupting, Ox. I think he would be better, a better player at a better team. I really do.
Okay. All right. That's the $1 million question. Yeah, all better.
Really is. Is he in the Scotland team? Is he in that? I don't know. In the Scotland team. Oh, is he? Well, I show you how bad a player he is then. As for Porteous, I mean, Jimmy, Porteous, what he really, Stevie said he needs guidance. What he needs is shot with a ball, he's in shite. That's what he needs. Sorry for swearing, but come on. I know, yellow card. I'll take the yellow card. I'm happy. Give me it.
Yes. Mrs. Oldbears had a word with me. You're in trouble.
I'll need to this back line.
Say that again, Stevie.
I've said I need to marshal this back line. All Bears losing it. I'll need to get him into shape here.
I know. You need to get a grip of me, mate. Otto, get a grip of me. I'm out of control.
The panel tonight, one guy's had a slip of the tongue, the other one's been caught eating.
It's a shambles of a panel we've got tonight, mate.
Yeah.
A shambles.
And can he put the two together? Can he put the two together ever again?
Well, took the Charlotte Bora.
Joe, doing my trousers, man.
No, but the first time for you two, by the way.
Oh no. No, but the last time.
You know. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see where it brings us. Would I sign John Suter? 200,000, take him now. That would be about it. Take him now.
That's the whole thing. He's a free agent in this, at the end of the season. So if Rangers went to Hearts and offered him £250,000, I think they would take it. He's going to walk away for nothing.
I think.
In a couple of months' time. And I think John Suter would be a cracking squad player for £250,000. He'd need to be nuts to even try and give that a go. You know what I mean? He's
they're in a dilemma or not.
Albert, 2 yellow cards in Man night. Let Stephen finish, please.
Orange card, that one.
He's Douglas Bader. He's Douglas Bader. He's there. No, the boy is definitely good there. But again, I think the key was said a minute ago. He would be a far better player with better players on above and better coaching.
And you come, Albert?
Well, Hearts have got a decision, haven't they? I mean, they're trying to get a European spot. So do they let them go for quarter? Like Goldson for us, isn't it? It's the same thing. We've gone for a league title. They're going for a European spot, and the European spot brings some needed revenue into their squad. So they've got that. I don't think they'll let them go. I think they'll just say, right, okay, we want this European spot. You're staying at the end of the season and going for nothing. You're talking £250,000 or what? What's the European spot? At least £1.5, maybe £2 million, and £3 million even.
It's the exact same scenario for their club as we've got, isn't it? They've got
exactly
doing their contract, you know. Okay. Anyway, listen, can I say to Jimmy, who's dropped out the call with some background noise for you, mates, we had to let you go. Great to hear from you, Jimmy. Don't be scared to call up again. Right, Albert asked. Bob G had asked Albert earlier on about who he would sign, and he was adamant he was attacking midfielder and a centre half. What's your priority in this transfer and the next transfer window, mate?
This transfer, centre halves, we spoke about the most of the programme. We're actually at the moment awash with centre halves, aren't we? We'll just have to wait and see. I think we need a good attacking midfield player. I definitely do. A really good attack. I couldn't put my finger on who. There's that much movement at the moment. You're almost coming up to the second week of a transfer window. I really don't know who we could maybe get in. I didn't see anybody in Scotland good enough. But I've no idea who we could. Has any of the boys got an idea who they think they could maybe bring in as an attacking midfield player? That's a hard question, that.
I can't.
Joey Veerman.
He's just signed for PSV.
That's right. He's signed for PSV.
Come on, Andy. If you're going to come on here, please do your homework, yeah?
I didn't know it's signed. That's a.
You're not only letting yourself down, you're letting your family down, you're letting your friends down.
Can I come in off again? The boy Lundstrom. Let's face it, the boy Lundstrom is no hack to it. At least no yet, anyway.
It's a strange one, Bob Chair. There was that period where he got about 4 man of the matches on the row. And you thought, oh, this boy, let's see where it takes us. Then the next thing, with the melee against Aberdeen, and really we've not seen him since. Bits and pieces, but nothing.
No, nothing consistent, eh? But if we're going to spend a bit of money, well, there you go, there's money again. Yeah, I would say we'd bring in another attacking midfield. Get me a bit of pace. I don't know who we could bring in at the moment.
Who does that say about Bacuna then, Stevie?
Well,
I don't know. The big man had enough game time to show us what he could do. You know? I mean, you've got, people, are they getting a chance? They're really getting a chance. They're getting enough football, you know. And that goes for the big man too we've been talking about all night. What you call him? It's just slipped my mind there. The big Lundstrom. Has Lundstrom really had that much game time? That he's never had a run, has he? He's always been in and out the team, and I don't think he's had enough time. There was one point he was playing out his skin. He was getting man of the match a couple of games in a trot. I think one of them was up at Dundee, if I can remember right. I don't know. I really don't know, Ox. I just think guys like that are not getting not enough game time to show us what they can do, you know. And I think more so it's got to be harder for them now under Giovanni, because he seems to be settling his team down. I mean, there was one point none of us could get the Rangers lineup. There was 2 and 3 changes every game. And I think we're starting to get a more settled team. So these fringe players, if you want to call them fringe players that are coming in and out, it's going to be even harder for them now.
Mm-hmm. All right, talking about people who's always on the fringe of things, we've been joined by old Davy. Evening, Davy.
Evening, boys. How are they?
Evening, Davy.
David. Yeah, you're keeping. Just regarding what Stevie was saying in your Cellox, it was about Suter.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think if he's going to be available for even say $250,000, that's a great buy to get him, because I've always said he stands out. He looks average. Everybody says I don't know what he looks like. I've never seen a look at him. He's a steady player, and if you take him and put him in with a lot of other good players and get him for that dough, I think that's a good deal.
Right, okay. I saw about opinions. Albert, just to let you know, it's 363 days to Davy's birthday, mate, all right?
I've marked that down, mate. So.
Oh,
yeah. Up my calendar, David Day.
He's got advent calendars himself for his own birthday. Would you make it happen?
Hey, somebody says to me today, what age are you, Davy? I says, I'm 73, but I'm coming up for 74.
Age is only a number, Davy.
You're right, big man, you're right.
Oh, dear. Albert Suter.
As I say, I can't pass comment on the boy, because I'm a Rangers supporter and I only watch Rangers. I don't watch any other team, so I only see him when he played against Rangers, and Bigger Able sort of took a learning. But anyway, I don't know. I wouldn't like to say one way or the other. If we do sign him, and we'll go with the rest of the boys, because they seem to be keen on him, and that'll do me. I mean, if they say he's a half decent player, that'll do for me. But I couldn't actually say.
Can I just say something, Albert? I know I might cut in. And see, when you're talking about Aribo taking him with the cleaners, how many Aribos are in all the other teams? There's none.
No.
So he would be playing with him.
That's a good point.
But there is in Europe. There's a lot of Aribos in Europe.
Well, that's miles away.
But that's where we want to operate, and that's where we're looking for the big bucks.
I would maybe see it, Albert, as maybe a similar signing to when we signed Alan McLaren. We brought him in and we thought he's a squad player. Alan McLaren done it right. He kicked on. You don't know, but I wouldn't. If the dough's right and it's not a big gamble, I wouldn't go in with stupid money. It's got to be right for the club, as you said, Albert. Right, listen, I've got another thing. I'm going to go down the panel with this set. Right, okay. Joe Aribo, who was playing, if you like, on the front, and then he's moved back to midfield with a free role, and he's been a revelation. Is that fair, Big Stevie?
Aye, yes.
Aye. So then all of a sudden we'll get this, if you like, the sort of outside right position, yeah? It's became a problem position. We know that Hadji's played there, and Sakala played at Hearts and done okay, and Roof, but we've not really filled that position. I would say it's more an attacking position rather than an attacking midfield position. Do you see who's going to fill that slot, or is that a position we're going to have to buy for? Stevie, then Andy?
I I think we might need to buy somebody for there. We might need to. But don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Sakala being there. I think against Hearts at Tynecastle, it worked a treat. I thought the boy Sakala ripped the Hearts defence apart with his pace and good moves for the goal. I mean, he cut in and cut round the boy and cut it back to Morelos for Morelos to bang it in the net. But I thought Sakala was excellent there. I'd like to try that again. I'd like to see if that would go again. See if we could see how he fits into that. I'd like to give that a try, Ox. I really would.
All right, Andy, then Albert.
Aye, with Aribo, playing in that midfield role, definitely, absolutely. What a player! What just the guy's just sensational. There's just no other words I could say that there's probably not already been said about him. And I agree. I would play Sakala again on the right-hand side instead of Hadji, and go for that again. Yeah, I would agree with that. But the last panelist just said.
Can I say something?
Aye, on you go.
See when you're talking about Aribo, by the way, and I said this, I can remember him pulling the ball out there at Parkhead. He didn't even look. He seen the ball getting punted, and he was running towards the silly goal, and he pulled the ball out there, and it was amazing. And then he done the same at Ibrox. That ball was 40 foot in the air, and he just brought it down, as if he was bringing a feather down. It was a deft touch, and then he beat the player and left him standing with his mouth open. I mean, and then the goal at Hearts, the way he brought that down and tucked it away. I'm not saying he's the same as Terry Henry, but it was very Terry Henry-esque, the way this guy's got skill and ability and the way he can pull the ball down. And I think you talk about prospects. I mean, how far can Joe Aribo go? He keeps playing the way he is and developing the way he is. And do you know what I love about Joe Aribo? See, when he gets the angry heat on and he plays aggressive, there's no stopping him, guys. When Joe Aribo plays the aggressive way, there's absolutely no way anybody's stopping him. With the big legs he has, man, it's absolutely brilliant. The skill he's got. Unreal.
Albert.
As far as Aribo's concerned, I never thought he was a midfield player. I've said at time and time I like him further forward, but Van Bronckhorst seems to have found his position and released the boy. And the position he's playing in now and how he's playing in now, allowed to go forward, run forward, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. That is his position. Now you go that. I've not seen him since he joined Rangers playing better than he is at the moment. So that's definitely his position. As for the outside right position, I don't think we need to buy anybody. It's time to Sakala and Wright to day two to make that position. It's either one or the other is playing in there. It's time. Wright's actually had his best game against St Mirren there, that last game. More of that. He needs more of that. He needs to get more aggressive as well. But wee Sakala, I'm with Stevie with that one. I liked wee Sakala there. I've got a lot of time for that wee boy. He just got the right attitude. He's got speed. He's got a bit of skill. He knows how to take a goal. He's got everything. So I don't think we need to buy MD for that position. That position's covered. It's time that now these players decided in their own minds. That's my position. I'm having that. And I think if they do that, Van Bronckhorst will play them. He will play them.
Okay. Davey?
I can't say enough about Aribo. The guy's in every league he's on at the moment. And I think the biggest worry will be keeping him. That's, to me, is the biggest concern. Nowhere to play him. It's keeping him. We've got to keep that boy. But we all know what the old dust like doing that Premier League comes up. It talks. That's what's worrying. But
And what about outside right position, Davey?
No. Sakala. I'd play Sakala there all day long. All day long.
Are you a dedicated follower?
Of fact.
We are hard man. Well, on his performances, I've never said, I couldn't turn around and say he was rubbish today. That boy puts Everton into the game. I've seen Morelos lumbering about a few times. You don't see that boy doing it, and he scored some cracking goals. So I had to have him all day long.
Bob, Joe
Aribo, let's face it, everybody, it's as simple as this is the club's biggest asset, eh? Ever since Van Bronckhorst came in, he's been an absolute revolution. The way he's added a bit of aggression to his game, winning tackles and so on, and distributing the ball, he's going to be a great player, that laddie. I'm afraid he's not going to be with Rangers all his career. I think we all know that, eh? But we're going to make a huge profit on Joe Aribo. He's a wonderful player, and as long as he's with us, I'm happy. The outside right thing, I think that people are going to disagree with me here, but I think they're looking to upgrade in that position. There's some talk about the boy Goldson. Has there been any elaboration on that? Does anybody know? No, that's all down to rumour. But I think they're going to look to and then they want to use a word like improve. I agree with you about Sakala. I agree with you about Wright, but I think they're going to upgrade that position. They two will be back to being squad players.
No, it'd be interesting. Sakala, he's a wee bit of a mystery, Stevie. You know, he's done some wonderful things. The goals he scored with the heat, you know, that we didn't know he had in them. But then there's other times the ball bounces off him as if he's never seen it, you know.
Look again. I get back to it. We've seen the boys get pace. That's the one thing you need in the game this day and age. The boys get pace in abundance. He's got that wee burst of energy, man. He's Oscar. But again, I just think maybe a run in the team, a solid run in the team, maybe he needs. Bring him on a wee bit better. But he plays the game with a smile on his face. And he's no let us down anyway. Since he's signed, he's done all right for us. And I would definitely, I like the fact that you had Kent on one side, Sakala on the other, two boys with a bit of pace running into that box. And with Joe Aribo and Alfie limbering about, guys, the law of averages, you're going to have at least per game, you probably look at the stats, you're probably getting 15, 20 digs a goal a game. You know, and that's what it brings. I mean, big defenders, they're all right maybe the first half, but with Sakala and Kent constantly running at you for 90 minutes, you're going to get change at them. You're going to, at some point, they're going to get the better of the big defender, the low averages. So, for me, I would like to see the wee man. I think we should all give the song a wee belt. Should we not give the song a wee belt?
You're the singer, belt it out, son.
What one's that, Stephen?
No, I do all my singing in the police station.
I want to sing on my birthday.
No, listen, guys, I don't know if that made any sense what I'm saying. At some point, these two boys running at the big defenders for 90 minutes, they're going to get changed out the defence, aren't they? They really are. It's at low averages, though.
We're in a good place. We're in the best place we've been in 10 years or better.
Absolutely, mate. And we're going to get better. There's no doubt about it. We're going to get better. It's one of the ones that I'm happy with the squad that's sitting at the moment. I'm quite happy with it. A few in there need to do better. A few in there should be moved on. But in general, I'm happy with the squad. Can you get better players? Of course you can. You always can get better players. But let's say the team's gel, the team plays well together. They all get on. They look if they're a good group of players. No getting on ways. So there's a lot to be said for that. I know you don't really want to upset the apple cart and bring a bad apple in, because one bad apple can spoil it all. At the moment, I'm very happy. And we'll just, providing no more players go, we'll just march on and win this league. There's no doubt about that. No, absolutely no doubt in my mind about that.
I think the biggest game in a decade will be this away game against Aberdeen. I know it's the next game, and Bridgeman will say that when he's on. But if we go there and we win, ticking the box, the fixtures then start coming back towards your favour in the next quarter, and the league could be done before the split, you know?
Again.
Mm-hmm. again, talking about Bridgeman, he was watching something about Dallas today on his new telly, 96 inches. He said, Stevie, it's the biggest ranch he's ever seen, you know.
Deborah, would it? Aye, something on the bridge, isn't it, for tellies? And their knees sit in the drum chapel with tinfoil in their mind so they can't detect my licence.
That's Southport. On that telly, that Southport would look like a grass verge on that telly.
Brilliant.
I think we've been joined by Georgie Logan. Evening, George.
How you doing, Ox? All right?
Joe Swallow.
How you doing, boys?
All right, George.
Evening, George.
A great conversation tonight, Ox. What you're talking about is absolutely bang on. I mean, we are in a great position again. We're talking about big Connor Goldson. Sometimes we maybe just got to realise, Ox, say for example, our wage bracket's 35 grand and the big man's on 27 or 28 and we offer him the maximum and we're not going to break that again because we can get in a bother again. So it's maybe just one of the things where it's just we kind of come to an agreement. It's as simple as that. I like the big guy. I think he's a world beater. Of course I don't think he's a world beater. We've made him the player he is, and he'll probably realise that as well. But I've never got to call just somebody in for trying to better their family. Everyone else will do the exact same. It's as simple as that. But as of the boy for Hertz, I was never ever a fan of the boy for Hertz, but our office is in Edinburgh, and all the boys were saying that he would fit well in at Rangers, and I never really bothered about it. And I started watching him, and I think he probably would fit in at Rangers. Rocks. I wonder if he could get a deal, and that's what I'm talking about, the strength and position we're in. I wonder if he could get a deal to get that boy in, and like Stevie says, pay the 250 grand or something, but give him Jack Simpson on loan for the season. And we're a winner there, Rocks, because that guy maybe get games and we can make an evaluation on the guy come the end of the season, let him see what he's like in the Scottish game, and then we can get a rainbow in as well. So if that would be a plan or no.
See where you're coming from. I think there's more chance of Simpson going back down south, but I get where you're coming from. The thing that pleased me about George Suter, somebody's making a bit of noise. Can you go on mute, please? The thing that pleased me about George Suter, is it John Suter? John Suter? John Suter. The thing that pleased me about John Suter, his mom did he talk to him when he scored the goal, the equaliser at Ibrox, so I was quite pleased when I heard that. So it means he knows, his family know the score. Stevie?
Aye, but we don't get half for nothing in a free transfer. Aye. Well, I mean, he's definitely a good blue nose, and I can only agree with what George Logan says. That would make sense, wouldn't it? We'll take him, £250,000, and we're going to get him for nothing in a couple of months' time. But what we'll do is we'll give you Jack Simpson, get a bit of experience, first team games under Jack Simpson's belt, and all, you know what I mean? And see what's happening there. That would totally make sense to me, because no matter what Hearts do, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's got to walk away in a couple of months' time for hee-haw. So 300,000, 350 grand tops, and go and say to him, right, let him come in and we'll give you this. I think Hearts would just need to say, right, we're better getting something than nothing. You know? And what George was saying about Connor Goldson, you know, listen, I just think people can be a bit harsh. I'll say it again. The big man's never out with team. He's played every minute. And I mean, I know that people are saying that he owes Rangers. I just think the big man's paid his fee back, but we paid for him. You know, he's given us that back tenfold. He's hardly missed a heartbeat, pardon the pun. And I wouldn't like to see him in a constantly out, maybe 3 or 4 games without him. I really don't. I think he's the best that Scottish football's got to know anyway, that's for sure.
Ox, can I say something?
All right, we know it's 363 days to your birthday, but thanks very much.
No. Just in regards to what Stevie was saying there, would Stevie still think the same of him if we hadn't won the league last year? Would you think he was still such a great player?
Stevie?
Then would I be saying that about Alf, and would I be saying that about the rest of them? You know, it's all a bunch of babies. We can only go by what we're seeing. you know, and the big man's never out the team. He's never out the team, never injured. And he's shown something. Surely he's shown us something. We're broke down with the deal. The deal's broke down, but he's still playing for us week in, week out, risking injury. You know what I mean? It's not as if he's shying away. He's playing week in, and he's playing good. Since Giovanni's come in, the whole team stepped up, fair enough. But so is he wearing. He's part of the defence that's kept with zero. And as I said last year, they broke every record in Britain and every Rangers record. He was part of that. I know Alan McGregor got the Player of the Year, but Big Golson's part of the back five, isn't he?
Big Goldson, mate. Big Goldson. This is his fourth season. First season, 54 games. Second season, which was cut short, 52 games. Third season, league winning, 56 games. This year so far, 31 games. 193 games, mate. It's awesome.
That is unbelievable.
You know, but when you look at the stats, guys, it's when you stop and realise, is he that bad a player? We know he makes that odd mistake. So does Tav. So does Bonner.
Definitely.
You know? And McGregor, wasn't that long ago McGregor came out against Hearts to punch the ball, missed it? But you wouldn't have Alan McGregor, no. Your team, he's going to be in your team every week, McGregor, isn't he? He's the best goalkeeper in Scotland by far. But we're just a bit harsh when we talk about Big Goldson. He's like an easy target sometimes. Guys, we've got he's shown for the money we brought him in, he's shown us that he a Ranger. The way he talks about the team today, you know, the way he talks about Rangers today, he definitely wants to remain at Ibrox. I just hope they can sort it out and we can move on for it. Because I'll tell you something, for these stats that Ox has just told you there, you're going to have to pay big money to replace them. Trust me. And no doubt, no matter who you bring in, they're going to be injury prone. That big guys, it's as if because of that guy's the health things that he had, he's adamant that he's never going to boot that team. And I think it's a great thing for him, and I think it's a great thing for Rangers.
Georgie Logan. George?
Oh, is he there?
No, it was George. We lost George. Oh, he might have dropped too. Oh, he's gone. Okay. Bob Gia. Then all better.
I don't think anybody's advocated tonight about the sort of elongated conversation we've had with Conor Goldson. I don't think anybody's ever said to you that Conor Golson's a bad player. Of course no. He's been unbelievably consistent for us. It's just it's due to the old locking horns again about money. You know, that's where the upside down diamond comes in, money. And the boy feels that he's given the club great service, which he has. With these stats that Hawks has just quoted us. I wouldn't like to go to some of these environments, and we all know them in Scottish football, without Conor Goldson. And he's been great for us, I would agree with it. And I really hope at the end of the day they can sort someone out, because I'm listening to you intently tonight. It's been great. And I just hope they can sort this out with Conor Goldson, because if we dare replace him, I mean, we have sort of compared them to that donkey at Manchester United, and we would need to pay top drawer for to replace the boy. I hope it sorts itself out. Many of us are advocating that Conor Goldson's a bad player. I think underhandedly we're all desperate for him to stay. I think we're agreed on that, man.
Nobody understood nobody was saying he was a bad player, but when you're talking about he's a championship player, he wouldn't even get in the Premiership, blah blah blah. Well, when you look at your Harry Maguire's, who's playing in one of the top 5 big clubs in England, well, I don't see how he wouldn't be able to play in even one of the bottom half teams in the Premiership. I think it's a wee bit harsh on it when you're saying it like that. I don't mean anybody said he's a bad player, but just when you're saying he's definitely a championship player, he wouldn't get in the English Premiership, I think that's a bit harsh for a guy who never misses a game. He's got Europa League experience. Now, there's not a lot of defenders down in England in the Premiership get European experience. I mean, you could name hundreds, you know. So I just think We talk about my wee bit harsh, and sometimes it sticks in my craw because, as I said, to replace a big man with the stats and the number of games and what he's done, I mean, he broke 55. He was part of a British record-breaking defence who had the British record and everything else. He's got European experience and everything else. I just think we talk about the boy a wee bit harsh at times, and we should maybe wind our necks in a wee bit about it.
Time will come. Sometimes it's like Fox when he went out with that gymnast. He didn't really know what he had to finish, you know. You know what I mean? Anyway, I mean, George Logan's back with us. You all right there, George?
I know. I'm also listening. I mean, I agree with Big TV. I mean, you look at the calibre of player down south. Harry Maguire, that's a great example. £80 million. And we're talking, we got a big corner for £3 million. He's well paid his dues for what we paid for him at Rangers Ox, 100%. And the big guys never put a rank for us. And you look at the stats that you just said there in New York, it's unbelievable. But if the big man wants to go and he wants to get that wee bit extra money, and I can see him going to a Fulham or a West Brom or something like that, auction. He'll not be replaced in there. I can't TV saying the Premiership and things like that, but he's had a lot of experience up here playing with a top Rangers team. He'll be down there and playing a completely different kind of football if he does go down south. But the thing I would say, Ox, he'll take some replacing. We're talking about the boy Harry John Shooter or something like that, but he's got to take some replacing if we have to get rid of him, Ox.
That's exactly what Fox said about that gymnast. Yeah, exactly. Andy, when you come.
I just wanted to say about Goldson and about how much you can see that he loves Rangers. Every goal that we score, he's always he's maybe not the first one up, but he's always up there, up with the crowd and up, jumping up top of people, and you can see it in his face. He absolutely adores the club, and but looking at that, you would think that's a player that really, really wants to play for us. So I really do think it probably is down to money, and whatever he does, he gets my definite 100% thanks for everything he's done for us. Anyway, that's just what I like to say about him.
The funny thing is, I take on board everything Stevie says, everything he says, but that'll all depend how this year pans out, what kind of thanks he'll get when he leaves Albert. Exactly,
mate. He's exactly right. I don't agree with what Steve saying. Sorry, Stevie, but I don't. He's an alright player, and I probably want him to stay, and he will take some replacement. I agree with that, but it's the way he's going. It's the way this is dragging out. That's the bit that's really sticking with me. And this carry on he owes is nothing. I don't agree with that 100%. Don't agree with that. He owes us everything. And he definitely owes us a transfer fee, which we're not going to get, because if it's money, he's off. The Championship or the lower league or the lower Premiership or any Premiership team, any Championship team is going to give him more money than us. So if it's money, he's off. It's as simple as that.
Has anybody ever thought maybe it's family?
No.
I mean, that's the problem, Andy. Nobody actually knows. There's been rumours, but there's nothing. Nobody knows.
That's exactly what I mean, mate.
But if it is money, you've got to look at the realities of life. If it's money, he's off. He's gone. There's these teams have got practically limitless cash flows, not our cash resources. They can swamp us every time. So that's just the reality of life. Is it bad? Is it sad? Of course it's sad. It's sad that we allowed it to get to this time, this state. That's what's sad, really sad about it.
Mm-hmm. But what could be interesting, when you say it's about money, that money might be in different factors. It could be that he wants another 4-year contract, and we're saying there's no way we're giving you're 30 this year, a 4-year contract, So he might be happy with the salary, but it comes down to money because he's trying to get it into the contract. Yeah,
definitely. It's not that. He can go down there and get a 2-year contract with the same and earn the same money as with a 4-year contract up here with us. I mean, that's what we'll be looking at as well,
Aye, yeah.
And that's him get another move after that again.
Aye, you know. Aye, we'll see where it takes us. Hopefully, whatever happens, it's the club's decision. Yes, mate.
Can I just, are we right to reply to Mulber there? Oh,
yes,
Mulber, listen, Mulber, your opinion is totally valued. We've all got opinions here. Well, sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. Now, this is how I see the Goldson thing, and I'm not going to say any more about it. See, when Goldson done 55 and got us 55, he paid back a bit his fee. To me, right? He paid back a bit his fee. See, when Connor Goldson was part of the defence that got us into Europa League group stage, how many times now? 3 or 4 times. I believe he paid back a bit his fee every time he got us into the group stages in Europe. I really think Connor Goldson was us nothing. For the amount of games he's played, the money we paid for him, and the amount of times he's been in record-breaking British defences, and how many times he's got us into the Europa group stage and earned the club X amount of money every time. I think the boy, we really could look at Connor Goldson's time if he left at the end of the season when we won the league and look back on it and say, by the way, he was a good £3 million player. He paid us back. I really don't think we would owe him he owes us anything, Albert. But that's, look, you've got your opinion, I've got mine. I just think for £3 million over 200 games, never out the team, and been part of record-breaking defences. And let's be honest, I mean, the year we won 55, nobody beat us. We were invincibles, no?
Well, and he was part of it.
Well, gentlemen, I need to cut across you and say we've reached that time of the evening.
Come on.
I want to thank Bob Gia, Andy, Davey, just let everybody know here on 73 days to Davey's birthday, Georgie Long, and of course Jimmy earlier on for taking the time to call us. And it's great to have Albert back. As placid as normal, and of course, thanks to the only one and only Big Stevie, Lacey's #1 fan, pundit. Stevie, over to you, mate.
I'd just like to say, I'd like to thank Albert for being my right-hand man tonight on it. I've really enjoyed it. I just enjoyed the discussion with him. It just shows you this is what Rangers Radio was all about. We don't always agree with each other. We've all got our own points of view and we see things different. But been a brilliant night. A lot of good discussion, guys, and long may it continue. But thanks again, Ox, for having me on. Absolutely brilliant.
Stevie, Albert?
Aye, Stevie's right. We've got different opinions, and that's the way it should be, and we don't fall out, and it's just a case of we all think different things. Great night, great conversation, really enjoyed it. Good input with everybody that phoned in, and thanks for having me on there.
No, really great to have you back, mate. Really great to have you back, yeah.
Certainly is.
Can I just say something before we go?
No, you can't, mate. We've reached that time of the evening and I don't go overtime. Right? Can I thank everybody? Come on early in the morning night and get it in. Can I thank everybody?
No, sorry. It's just that for Stevie, that Connor Goldson's agent was just on the phone to me. He says to tell Stevie the check's in the post.
Okay, cheers. I mean, they're not going to... The folks will go nuts at you. He's going to pay me extra money now for that. Right, okay. Can I thank each and every one of you? I was going to thank you, David, but I'm not now. Right? Can I thank each and every one of you for taking that? Thanks for listening. Please stay safe. We'll be back tomorrow night. Bridge will be back with us, the one and only Bridgeman, JFK. And I think it's... Well, I think it's Port Barrett's with us tomorrow night. I'm not sure. But JFK's with us anyway. Thanks for listening. Stay safe and speak to you all tomorrow. Take it away, old school boy.
Good night.